Currently, the United Kingdom has been engulfed by a series of violent riots and civil unrest that have raised significant concerns about public safety and national security. This article delves into the multifaceted causes and effects of the unrest, focusing on the influence of far-right groups, the role of online influencers and big tech companies, and the challenges faced by law enforcement in containing the violence. Additionally, the impact on communities and families, as well as the legal and political ramifications, are explored in depth. The aim is to provide a comprehensive analysis of the situation and propose potential solutions to prevent future occurrences. The recent unrest has been significantly fueled by the activities of far-right groups. These groups have effectively used social media platforms to mobilize their supporters and incite violence. The police have reported that these groups have been posting about descending on cities across England, warning counter-protesters to stay away. This has created a highly volatile environment, with tensions often boiling over into violent confrontations. In Plymouth, anti-racist groups came out to confront far-right protesters at a hotel, leading to violent clashes. The scene in Birmingham was similarly chaotic. A group of predominantly Muslim men initially gathered to defend their mosques from anticipated attacks by far-right groups. However, the situation quickly escalated into violence, highlighting the fragile nature of community relations in these areas. These incidents underscore a broader pattern of far-right groups exploiting social media to spread their ideology and organize violent activities. The police have repeatedly warned counter-protesters not to engage with these groups, emphasizing that such confrontations often lead to further violence and chaos. The violence has not been confined to England. In Northern Ireland, a racially motivated attack left a man in his 50s severely injured, with his head stamped on by assailants believed to have paramilitary connections. This incident is indicative of the broader issues at play, where racial and ethnic tensions are being stoked by organized groups with potentially paramilitary links. UK security services are investigating the possibility of foreign influence in the recent disturbances. This includes examining whether rogue states are playing a role in directing the disorder. The aim is to understand the full extent of external involvement and its impact on the domestic situation. Such investigations are critical in uncovering the broader geopolitical dimensions of the unrest and ensuring that appropriate measures are taken to counteract these influences. The human impact of the unrest has been profound, affecting individuals and families across the UK. One particularly harrowing story involves a schoolgirl and her sisters who had to leave their home and seek refuge in a safe house. This drastic measure was taken after their father's home address was posted online by far-right groups, marking it as a potential target. The fear and anxiety experienced by this family are emblematic of the broader sense of insecurity felt by many during this period. Families forced to flee their homes due to threats from far-right groups face numerous challenges. The psychological toll on children, in particular, is significant. The schoolgirl mentioned earlier expressed her confusion and fear, unable to understand why her family was targeted simply because of her father's profession as an immigration solicitor. This scenario highlights the broader issue of targeted harassment and the impact it has on vulnerable communities. The legal response to the unrest has been swift and decisive. Hundreds of arrests have been made, and the first convictions have already occurred. The Director of Public Prosecutions in England and Wales has described the situation as a national emergency, underscoring the severity of the crisis. There is ongoing discussion about categorizing some of the offenses committed during the unrest as acts of terrorism. This reflects the seriousness with which authorities are treating the actions of the rioters. The legal implications of such charges are significant, potentially leading to harsher penalties and a broader range of prosecutorial tools being available to law enforcement. The role of online platforms in fueling the unrest cannot be overstated. Far-right groups have effectively used social media channels like Telegram to disseminate their messages and coordinate their activities. One particularly disturbing development is the circulation of a manual on how to commit arson, which originated from Russian neo-Nazi groups. This document has been widely shared, prompting concern among senior Home Office officials. Prominent figures like Elon Musk have also been implicated in the debate over online influence. Musk, who owns the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has been accused of amplifying far-right narratives and inciting racial hatred. His posts, seen by millions, question the government's handling of the riots and suggest a bias in law enforcement. This has sparked a broader discussion about the responsibility of tech companies in moderating content that could incite violence and hatred. Musk's actions have raised questions about the role of influential individuals in shaping public discourse and potentially inciting violence. His use of social media to promote far-right narratives has been particularly controversial, with critics arguing that it undermines efforts to maintain social cohesion and public safety. The current crisis has highlighted the need for a multifaceted approach to address the root causes of the unrest. This includes a thorough investigation into the role of online influencers and tech companies, as well as a critical evaluation of the policing strategies employed to manage the riots. Fostering community resilience and cohesion is essential to preventing future incidents. This involves engaging with community leaders, providing support to affected families, and ensuring that all voices are heard in the dialogue about national security and social stability. Community engagement initiatives can help build trust between law enforcement and local populations, reducing the likelihood of violent confrontations. The recent unrest in the UK has exposed significant vulnerabilities in the country's ability to manage and contain widespread violence. The role of far-right groups, the influence of online platforms, and the potential involvement of rogue states have all contributed to a complex and multifaceted crisis. Moving forward, it is imperative that the UK government, law enforcement agencies, and tech companies work together to address these challenges, restore order, and ensure the safety and security of all communities. The situation calls for a comprehensive and coordinated response that addresses both the immediate and underlying causes of the unrest. By tackling the root issues, enhancing community resilience, and ensuring effective law enforcement, the UK can work towards a more stable and secure future.